On August 16, 1977, when Elvis Presley was found dead at the age of 42, the world lost not only a music legend, but also a profound mystery. The silhouette of Graceland that day echoed with the silent reverberations of death. But behind Elvis's death, there was a truth that had been hidden for years, a truth that had never been fully understood. That day, the world may have lost a rock star, but in reality, a far greater secret lay concealed in the shadows. This secret was so enormous and terrifying that it would make us question everything we thought we knew about Elvis's death. Publicly released reports about Elvis Presley's death claimed he died from a heart attack. However, this explanation was not enough to quell the doubts surrounding his life and death. Elvis's close friends and family, even years later, hesitated to speak about the dark secrets of that morning. But why? A group of journalists and researchers worked secretly for years to uncover a story that had been concealed since that day at Graceland. The story actually went much deeper. In Elvis's final years, a dark figure had entered his life. No one knew exactly who this person was, but according to records placed in a courtyard at Graceland, this individual had secretly met with Elvis just days before his death. Though no one knew who this man was or what he had discussed with Elvis, rumors began to spread quickly. In Elvis's final days, the pressures of the music world, his personal downfall, and increasing addictions had come to a head. But there was another event. Elvis had connected with a group of underground figures. They were members of a dark organization that sought to exploit Presley's popularity. These men wanted to involve Presley in a certain plan. But Presley, feeling increasingly isolated, realized that everyone around him just expected him to be a show, an entertainment. Yet, he had come to an agreement. The details of this agreement were never fully revealed, but Elvis's last meeting with that dark figure had somehow drawn him into it. It was clear to those who knew Presley that change was inevitable. That morning, Elvis had woken up early. He tried to collect himself. For the first time in days, he seemed to find some peace. But in reality, everything was about to turn into a trap. That day, we had misunderstood Elvis's death. He didn't die that morning. He was murdered. The truth was that there was a group who had concealed Elvis's death from the public. Some powerful figures who had gathered at Graceland had kept the fact that Presley's death was actually a murder hidden for years. The real killers were linked to the secret relationships and organizations Presley had been involved with in his final days. So who were these men? Why had they targeted Presley? His music and his world were much bigger than anything. Presley had become a threat, a man, a legend, an empire. But what was needed to destroy this empire? A murder plot. Leaked insider information revealed that a series of stressful events and heavy drug use in Presley's final days had actually set the stage for his death. However, it was revealed that none of these factors alone had led to his demise. Indeed, the so-called heart attack was merely a cover-up. Presley had faced a threat before his death, and that threat was the driving force behind everything. There was another hidden truth behind this event. Elvis Presley had asked for one more chance before he died. He had told his inner circle, "Protect me, I'm lonelier than ever." The plan of those shadowy figures was not only to target Presley, but also to initiate a shocking revolution in the music world. Presley's death was not only his end, but the closing of an era. However, this closure also brought with it a secret left behind by a public legend, one that no one had ever spoken of. And then, the real reason behind Elvis's death emerged. Presley didn't want to be alone. He had considered suicide, but he wasn't allowed to. Those dark men had wanted everything to end in order to prevent Presley's great transformation. This was not a murder, it was a message. The message was, A man who tries to surpass himself will eventually become the victim of everything. Presley's end was not just the end of a music career, but the collapse of an uncontrollable force. Years later, all these truths seemed poised to emerge. But even then, the void left by Presley could never be filled. It was too vast. He was a legendary dead man, but the true secrets of his death lived on. That morning at Graceland wasn't just a death. It was the revelation of a story, a mystery. In the depths of the mystery, every question about Elvis's death had an answer. But reaching that answer was only the beginning of a journey. And this journey left an indelible mark on the eyes of the world, one that could never be erased.